everybody, and welcome once again to This Week in Mobile. As always, I have my co-host with me, my trusty sidekick, Mike Hobbs.
Yeah.
You joining us as you're like my first mate. As we navigate the high seas of cellular.
Arr.
I hope I don't get scurvy.
Why
so,
the pirate thing?
What?
Why the pirate theme?
Why be a pirate? I don't know. Because pirates are awesome?
Probably not in real life, but
next week there will be a ninja theme in which we'd completely blend into the background.
Oh well, we'll talk.
We're going to dress up as ninjas,
so
you can only see our eyes.
Reason for that later.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
This week we have another round of epic win, epic fail. This will be really good. We have a kind of a show announcement. It's important if you watch the show because you're going to want to know when you can see it next week.
That's what I was alluding to.
Yeah, we're going to be sailing to a different time slot.
Yes.
And we also have Aaron Kasten from AndroidSWAG, and also he is one of the founders of the big Android BBQ via Skype. So we're going to be giving away some Android swag later in the show, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So stick around. And if you are watching the show right now, go follow AndroidSWAG on Twitter @AndroidSWAG. And we will draw, I believe we're going to do a twit random. We're going to give away some stuff. So let's hit the news. Yay. So this week, pretty interesting stuff happened. I felt like it was one of those weeks where a few big things happened and then a whole bunch of really little things happened.
Yeah, it was kind of a packed week.
Yeah. And so the big thing this week is Windows Phone 7, something we don't actually talk about very often because we haven't seen too much from it.
That's right, not since Mix.
Yeah, not since Mix. I can't wait. How did you get that out of your mouth without tripping over it?
I don't know.
Maybe because you have water. I didn't get a glass of water before the show.
Sorry.
I feel like an idiot.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, Windows Phone 7 was previewed this week by Engadget. Microsoft.
A few people.
Yeah.
Boy Genius had it.
Small amount of press were given the opportunity to preview Windows Phone 7.
They played with it for like a week.
Yeah. And they were given like a sort of prototype device. Was it Samsung?
I think it was a Samsung prototype,
Samsung
which is not ready for prime time, but
yeah. And so after reading this preview, if you didn't see it, for me, it feels like Microsoft is trying to sort of stay right in the middle of the road in terms of hip design and functionality, which I'm not exactly sure is a good idea, especially we live in such a polarizing world of mobile.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when it's literal. I mean, it's like I am a staunch Appleist, or I'm a staunch Androidist, or I'm a staunch, whatever it is. I use my BlackBerry religiously. I mean, it's very.
It's hard to get people to convert.
Yeah, really hard. And I don't. Like, for you out there who's watching, like, I believe that this is a terrible idea. Like, I think that's not a good idea to sort of straddle the fence and sort of hedge your bets. Like, it feels like they're hedging their bets.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a good idea.
Well, I mean, you're talking mostly about, the UI, right? Because the hardware is an unknown. We don't know how cool the hardware is going to be, so...
I guess it just seems like it's sort of a like, so far in the preview, it seemed very much like a wishy-washy mix of both worlds. Like, where it's like, well, the UI's nice enough.
It's unique. They're trying something different with the hub and the sort of these big cards, these monochromatic cards, which all the apps are going to have to kind of they're going to have to kind of fit into that aesthetic.
Right.
Which they're going to be on, if they're on the front page like that.
Which I'm not sure how that's going to.
That seems a little limiting.
Kind of shake down, right? It
to
seems
the developer,
limiting.
but that's the price to pay.
But with iOS 4 out now, and iOS 5 probably hot on its heels next year.
Yeah, or a big update.
Or a big
update by the end of the year.
By the end of the year.
Yeah.
And Gingerbread coming for Android, which is, I mean, there's going to be a slew of new things. And even with Froyo barely out, it seems like Microsoft is going to have to turn out something that is mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's got to wow people
compete.
to pull them away from their iPhones, Androids, or even their Blackberries, which they all have starting to have a very defined place in the market.
Yeah.
And I still don't see how this is going to fit in. What is it about this that's going to make people really excited? And
what's the niche? Like, what's the niche it's going to capture that isn't being captured by? I don't see it.
People will say it's the Xbox Live integration.
Maybe,
and I think
it depends on how robust it is.
Yeah, and what exactly are you going to be able to do? Are you going to be able to continue certain games on the phone, take those achievements back?
Are you going to be able to send save games to your friend? Like, I'm not exactly sure.
And is that a big enough deal to the average smartphone user that it connects to their Xbox? I wonder how much overlap there's going to be with these people.
How much overlap can there be? Like, and that's the big thing, is how much overlap can there be? Think about how many Xbox 360s are out there versus, for example, this week we're going to talk about how iOS 4 has, what, 100 million devices, they have 100 million devices out there.
Running iOS.
Running iOS. Some version of iOS.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, there's not 100 million people that own Xboxes, I don't think.
No.
360s, definitely not.
No.
Like, was it PlayStation 2 sold, I think it was like, had some ridiculous number.
Oh, it's in the tens of millions.
I think it's like 80 million units.
Is it that many?
This was a few years ago, so I don't know how many they've sold now, but
not PlayStation
it was a really high number.
Yeah.
But it's not over 100 million that have one particular.
No, and they're all plugged into this store, and they all have their credit card numbers, and you just buy at will.
So I don't know. Here's some of the stuff that wasn't in. I think that was the most important thing. It wasn't what was there, because Metro UI is very nice. It looks pretty.
Yeah, it looks cool. It seems to be
different.
Even on that hardware. It was fast. They seem to say it was fast. It was more or less. It was intuitive. It was intuitive.
Everybody likes that word. So user intuitive. It's so user friendly. Very intuitive.
Well, it needs to be.
No copy paste.
Yeah, let's start
with
that.
For the company that created Microsoft Office, no copy paste.
That's going to be touting, that, hey, you can look at your Office documents on here, and then what? Look at them, but then not touch them, not do anything. I mean, how can you edit a text document without copy and paste?
It just seems odd.
It seems nuts.
It's really strange.
And then,
although the keyboard they said was very nice.
The keyboard
probably
was good.
Up on par with iPhone.
On par with the iPhone. Good predictive text and all that stuff.
No Twitter integration. No standard Twitter integration.
Right, and then no plans to have that at launch.
Yeah, and no plans to have that at launch.
They can't put a few people on that to make that work. I mean, it just seems so easy and simple.
With the phones, if you haven't been following Windows Phone 7, they have devices coming out at the end of this year. This is in months. This is not.
This is soon.
A year out. This is like next week for the cell phone community.
On their end, it's got to be like done by now.
Yeah, and you've got and Fathom in our chat room says now you have Hewlett Packard going all in with WebOS. They announced WebOS 2.0.
It's going to be this year.
Later this year.
Yeah.
It seems like Microsoft is doing exactly what Palm ended up being in the trap of when they launched a phone in between these two worlds of like iPhone 3G and right around iPhone 3GS, but not. And then they were playing catch up the whole time with Android.
Yeah.
And they never caught up to that.
Right.
And when 3GS was launched, they were catching up to that.
Yeah, they missed a generation. Like they kind of.
They got in right at the end of the older generation.
Yeah.
And it would be like launching a brand new video game system 6 months before PlayStation 4 comes out. It doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
Like it feels like they're playing catch up. Like they're just frantically sprinting to catch up to iPhone and Android.
They are. I mean, because they had. I mean, look. Think about the idea. This is Windows 7. What happened to 6.5? That's just done. I mean, they're just the complete. It's a dead end. I mean, that they couldn't build on anything from that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for them, you could say that's commendable that they did just start over. They're such a big company. It's so hard for them to just toss out something like that and then just start again. But they did because they had to.
Tossed out they can.
And look
like
at,
it didn't even exist.
Oh, 6 weeks cost them. Actually, I mean, it said that what was it, a write-off of $240 million,
which
nothing. Doesn't seem.
It's just pennies to Microsoft.
That's why they killed it so fast. But think about all the time and energy they wasted on that. Could have poured that into Windows Phone 7. They probably could have got Twitter working on it had they not wasted time.
Social integration. I mean, that was what the Kin was all about, social integration. So why not just move those people? Why not just move those people into Windows?
I'm sure they did, but it was just too late.
I just don't understand. And thank you very much. Andrew A. Combe says, Engadget, 10 million Xbox, or let's see, Engadget article, Microsoft touts 30 million Xbox 360s.
Okay.
And 20 million Xbox Live subscriptions.
Okay.
So, 20 million?
Yeah.
That's it.
And then how many of those are going to be interested?
How many of those are actually, How many of those don't already have an iPhone?
Don't already have an iPhone, sure, especially,
or an Evo,
I would say, an Android.
Or an Epic 4G when that comes out.
Oh, sure.
Like, I'm sorry, Microsoft, you're going to have to wow us.
They're going to have to do
I don't know what to say other than that.
But what's left, the only thing that's left is the hardware. Is the count on somebody to release it just
some amazing
I mean, I don't know how amazing it could be.
Maybe HTC will do it. I don't know, because I think they're putting most of their stock in. I think wasn't HTC like mysteriously missing from launch partners?
No, I think they're one of them.
Who was missing from launch partners? There's one company, I thought it was HTC, mysteriously missing from their lineup of launch partners.
No, I'm fairly certain they were in there.
I'm going to look.
But, I mean,
Asgard says it better have the Pico projector as a standard feature.
People, that seemed to be, it's the trend that died before it ever started, putting little projectors into phones. But even that, I don't see what they've got. They've got Xbox Live and Office, but we know the Office is broken. because of the copy and paste. And Live, we still don't quite know how extensive it's going to be and how cool that's going to be. But that's probably the big thing that they have that will differentiate them.
It just seems like such a big question mark.
And it doesn't seem, I don't think it's enough.
And really, at what point does Sony not get in the game and say, okay, Google, we want to work with you, or Apple?
Well, Sony, I mean, they could have done this years ago.
And say we want to integrate with PlayStation Network and have home on a phone.
Or they could have just had a PSP phone. I mean, they could have done that years ago.
Well, they were going to, and it looked horrible. Did you see those renders? Like, this was a while ago.
Or were they their renders?
This was back in the Play magazine days.
I don't remember.
This is they had some
PSP,
weird
but I'm sure they weren't from
concept
Sony.
art. There was the really bad Nokia phone, that really terrible.
The N-Gage.
Yeah.
They were talking about
you remember that?
Of course.
Piece of junk.
What if don't try to make a game system.
Time.
They tried to make a game system in a phone, and it was, but that's not their expertise.
Yeah, I don't know.
And Sony has expertise in both fields, and they should have done that.
Yeah, they really should have. And
they could have leveraged, and even Microsoft is just finally now is going to start leveraging.
Yeah. It seems odd that they waited this long to do it.
And
maybe it's a technology barrier or something like that. But they finally have the speeds, the network speeds, different things like that.
There's that, but I think they're
also just user, because at some point they got to have enough people to justify doing it.
There's that. And I think plus those big companies are being pulled in so many directions. It's hard for them to just make one focused product that kind of will break certain parts of their ecosystem, which they're terrified of doing, and they've got so many, they can't make one device that contains all of them.
Yeah, that's true.
But they're learning from Apple that that's the way you have to do it.
At least one of the things that Microsoft's doing is a couple of Microsoft employees and some high up were tweeting about how Microsoft is actually going to give a Windows Phone 7 phone
to every employee.
Every Microsoft employee around the world.
Which I think they said was like, what, 90,000?
So it was a lot of people.
It's like 100,000, 90,000 people.
I think it was like anywhere between 40 and 90.
Okay.
It's got to be more than 40. I can't imagine.
That's a big spread,
well,
40 to 90. But regardless, they're going to give away tens of thousands of phones to their
their employees.
Desperate to me to have to do this.
I mean, it's really good word of mouth. Really good. If they use it.
If they like it, and if they use it, and they like it, and they're like, you got to see this.
You have to admit, it was a really good idea for Google at I/O to give away Evos to everybody who was in the room and everybody who attended.
Yeah.
But that's only 5,000 phones.
And that's a different crowd than just giving it to the employees.
You saw on eBay, you saw tons of them go up on eBay.
Yeah.
And the thing was, it worked for 30 days. And then they had like a little prepaid thing for 30 days, and then the phone stopped working.
Yeah.
So, and then at that point, you could either sign up with Sprint or not. But the thing is like, I just the people who were at I/O were excited about the Evo,
right?
Because it was the first 4G phone.
Sure.
Of course, they're going to use it for 30 days. Of course, they're going to be excited about it. It's a phone that had never been seen before. I mean, it was just one of those things like, oh my gosh, this is magical.
Those were enthusiasts.
They're enthusiasts. Yeah. They care about it. And the thing is like, just because you work at Microsoft doesn't mean that you're necessarily really excited about Windows Phone 7.
No, but they want them to be.
Yeah.
But I get the impression like at Apple the employees just automatically have an iPhone. They want to have an iPhone.
Yeah.
Whereas at Microsoft, apparently people don't want to have them. They have to give them to the people because they don't really want to use it.
Yeah.
But that's
like they make that announcement as if like this is a special thing.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna give them to everybody because they probably don't want them. Like that's like sort of the weird underlying like.
You could read it that
maybe
way.
We're reading it.
Or
maybe we're reading too much into it.
They're just a great company and being really generous to their employees.
Pulling an Oprah. I'll give it that. Really good publicity.
Who doesn't like free stuff?
Really good. Yeah. And who doesn't like free stuff? It looks like a very generous.
I mean, a free smartphone, and the newest.
A free top of the line smartphone.
Yeah, it'll be on the news. It'll be cool.
Yeah, it'll be good. I just want Oprah to be like screaming, "Everybody gets a new 7!" Like it'll be crazy.
No.
So you really like the story after this. I'm sorry, I don't want to miss this. So those of you who have been holding out for Droid 2, which is really like leaking all over the internet like a bad oil pan. Like there's pictures everywhere. Everybody knows what it's, everybody knows all the specs. I mean, it's a really poorly kept secret.
Exactly.
If you could even call it that.
Sure.
Really awesome news. It looks like the Droid 2 will be shipping with 2.2 with Froyo.
Yeah.
On board, officially done.
Yeah.
There's a screenshot of that. It would mark the very first phone besides the Nexus One that actually has Froyo at all.
Yeah.
And officially at launch, that would be the first phone. Which is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, for anybody waiting for a Droid 2, and I know they're doing that R2-D2. There's a rumor going around they're going to do this R2-D2 version.
Was that a rumor? I thought that was true.
Is it true?
Yeah, that they're going to make a special edition.
I thought that was a rumor.
Branded R2-D2.
And if it's not, and they don't do it, you can just buy an R2D2 sticker and put it on the back of your phone and pretend that it is.
But that's cool. Maybe this is, you know, we were talking last week a little bit about there not being a Nexus One and not being a Google flagship, but I think what they're going to, this I think indicates what they're going to end up doing. It's just every once in a while picking a phone that's going to be like, this is going to be, for now, this is our idea of the best, you know, Droid phone of the moment, or Android phone of the moment, and it'll come with the latest OS on it.
Yeah. Well, and I, like, Vazgard's like, I hope it comes with R2D2 ringtones. Like, I have so many friends who have just, like, R2D2 sounds for their text messaging notification, which sounds, it's perfect. It's exactly what you would want, like, your phone. It's not, like, a loud song that, like, plays for 30 seconds. It's just embarrassing. I'm like, oh, God. But yeah, like, I think that's really awesome, which brings me to my next question. HCC, where's my Evo 2.2? I want it now. Like, I've been waiting. I feel like I've been waiting years.
You have been. It feels like
it feels like a lifetime. It feels like a millennium.
And it's going to be another, oh my gosh, how many months till, what is it, December?
They said by Christmas. So maybe over-promise, under-deliver. That's what I'm hoping for. That they say by Christmas, and that's like worst case scenario, best case scenario, like end of August.
Maybe, what? End of August? That's crazy.
I don't know.
November if you're lucky.
Leave me alone.
November.
Stop it. You're going to make me cry. Why don't you talk about the next story anyway? It's going to make me cry anyway.
Oh, okay. This is...
No, it's good news.
Is it good news? Yeah,
I have to say,
Are you
it's
happy
impressive.
for them?
It is impressive.
It's
and
huge.
I am happy for them. Good for them.
Well, this was the week Apple had their big earnings report, the third quarter earnings call this week, and it was the first quarter that had the iPad on the books, so to speak. And so anyway, they had huge profits, record profits, $3.25 billion.
Huge.
Dollars on revenues of $15 billion. Which,
Why can't I invent an iPad? I could use $3 billion.
Well, don't forget, they've been in business for 34 years, and they really
I've been alive for
earned the benefit of the doubt with
a while.
us and the press. And so, yeah, they're both up from last year. Mac sales were up 33%. I know that's not really mobile, but iPads almost matched Mac sales.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
That's like amazing.
Amazing. 3.27 million iPads sold, nearly matched the Mac sales at 3.47 million.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, so close.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And
like it really shows how much the iPad has changed, like the tablet landscape.
Well, it's still it though, but that's it, and they're defining it. They're defining that space for everyone else to come in and follow. And
it'll be. I'm very curious to see that. Was it Verizon that's working with Google on the Android tablet later this year or early next?
Well, there's a bunch. Oh, there's kind of a few
there's a whole
tablets.
bunch that are in. I mean, yeah, but I'm waiting for kind of that like.
The real Android
There's been a whole bunch
tablet.
of there's been a whole bunch of phones out there that people go, oh, this is the iPhone killer, and it's never the case until like phones like the Evo, the Droid X, the Galaxy started coming out. Like, it's going to be a while before we see something that is even like that's remarkable, that makes people want to leave the iPad.
Yeah.
And like, I'll admit that. I mean, like, it's going to take something really remarkable to get people to leave.
Well, there's going to be what were the rumors this week? The Palm Pad.
The Palm Pad. I'm so excited. I love WebOS. If you weren't around for This Week in Android, I love WebOS. I think it's great. It's a very elegant UI. It's
until you turned your back on it.
I said a very nice goodbye to my Pre. When I traded it in for my Evo, I said, goodbye, good friend. You've been so loyal to me.
I was there when you turned it. I don't remember that.
No, I was whispering to it because that's the kind of precious friendship it deserved. To whisper into its ear and tell it thank you.
For $65 credit.
I hate you so much right now.
Okay.
No, yeah, the Palm Pad, though, I think is going to be really cool.
That's good. Well,
I'm really looking forward to that.
That could be so exciting because it's going to have, well, we'll assume whatever we'll see for WebOS 2 will be running on it. And that could be an iPad killer.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's very interesting. But here's the thing, like, so Apple posted these third quarter earnings, and they were really good.
Yeah.
And I know that they were saying that, like, 100, like, a certain number, what was it? They were saying, like, we've sold 3 million phones in 23 days.
Right.
3 million iPhone 4s.
Right, and however many activations.
And like all these 130,000 activations a day.
Big numbers.
And they're saying, we're seeing, all these. So this guy, John Battelle, over at Battelle Media, wrote this, I thought it was a really interesting article about what that number actually means.
Yeah.
So he starts saying that if we do the math, which Lord knows people hate math.
I think he did it for us.
But he did it for us,
it's correct.
which I like.
I think hopefully people check this because I haven't checked it.
He says 3 million phones in 23 days amounts to about 130,000 iPhone activations a day, and that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But the day before the iPhone 4 was launched, Google announced it was activating 160,000 Android devices a day. And just because it's not focused on one phone doesn't necessarily mean it's worthless data, because he then goes on to mention that 1.7 million of those iPhone 4 devices were activated on the first weekend. So the first 3 days of that phone, 1.7 million of them were activated. Meaning that after that, they only moved 60,000 a day for the next 20 days. 100,000 less than Android phones. 100,000 less.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think that's got to be skewed, because I think those are...
No, you're wrong. You
I
just
mean,
listen to you.
He's talking
Listen
about
to you.
multiple...
Stop defending.
I mean,
no, it's just...
multiple devices over multiple carriers versus one device on one carrier.
Well, it's not my fault that iPhone hasn't released the phone on Verizon or any other carrier.
Listen, the data's not worthless.
With a real network.
It's skewed, this data.
It's not skewed.
Worthless,
oh,
it's
come
skewed.
on, come on. It's
you can't compare
skewed.
one device on one carrier
Facts are
to
facts. You cannot. You are so blind. You are blinded by fruit.
People don't like this.
You don't like this because people whose names rhyme with Mike don't like this.
People want us. They don't want us to see this sort of arguing about these OSs. We'll just agree that that data is skewed, and it was still very impressive.
I'm not going to agree with you that the data is skewed.
No.
That's like, we'll just agree. Okay, I like how you say, like, that's the end of that conversation.
Yeah.
We'll just agree. Okay, next story. Like, it's,
I was trying to trick you into
don't try to sneak that in under the rug.
No good.
Yeah, no. I'm like, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Droid X screens having a problem this week.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't. It's not
like
just
a very
Apple
small percentage
that has issues. Just like probably the same percentage of people that have problems with their antenna.
Small? Oh, I don't think so. We'll get to that. Okay. A small percentage of Droid X owners are apparently experiencing this weird screen issue where you're having like crazy flickering, these like crazy like flickering screens.
Yeah, it's like vertical lines.
It's really weird.
I mean, it's unusable.
Horrible. Yeah, really, really bad. So unlike other companies that I know of, Verizon immediately admitted to their problem and said, okay, we'll swap your device out. Done.
Yeah, well, that was a very...
very what?
Very obvious.
I think that attenuation problem is pretty obvious. We won't even get into it. We won't even get into it.
But they did well. I mean, this was
it was the best way to handle it.
Well, handle what? They had some broken phones and they replaced them.
Yeah. Small percentage of phones.
And with the obvious defect, and they replaced them.
And now I'm sure all those people are very happy with Verizon. That's really nice.
Yeah.
But there probably, and more people, not just ones with the screen problems, probably not going to be thrilled with Verizon because apparently Verizon will be adopting tiered data plans.
Oh, why?
This is not good.
It had to happen.
Not good. I know.
They do whatever AT&T does, they will soon follow. They couldn't hold on to it. They probably wanted to.
AT&T made the first move into tiered.
Yeah.
And you know what? Verizon is probably going to do it with Droid 2.
Yeah.
As soon as Droid 2 launches, they'll say, oh, it's just like when Sprint unleashed the Evo on everybody, they were like, oh yeah, and by the way, there's an extra $10 fee to have a 4G phone, even if you don't have 4G anywhere near you. Yeah. P.S. You're going to pay $10 extra a month. Yeah. It's going to be the same thing. They're going to say, oh, the Droid 2, it's so amazing. You want it. They're going to do the Jedi mind trick and be like, you want an R2-D2 phone. And then all of a sudden, they're going to be like, oh, P.S. Here's your tiered data plan. Suck it, unlimited users.
Oh, so have they said what it is?
No, not yet.
They haven't said what it is.
No, this is sort of I believe as a screenshot that was seen, saying like when the Evo was like all the promotional materials were released.
Oh, yeah.
They were saying, oh yeah, like here's the whole thing about like we're gonna have special pricing for plans and all that stuff.
Well, AT&T is it's $25 for 2 gigabytes and $15 for 250 megabytes.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
I wonder if they'll do better than that.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Do they need to do better than that? Is that good?
You know what, I think the last time I checked over, I have to check since I've had my Evo, but even when I was using my Pre, I was like using pretty heavily. I feel like a drug addict. I was using really heavily every month when I had my Pre. It was
a lot of data.
I just had withdrawals when I was away from it for longer than 10 minutes. But I was using like close to 2 gigs.
Okay.
Like at the highest. And pretty much on average, like it was pretty consistent. So
well, they certainly can't.
They were saying like most people don't hit that two gig cap.
No, not nearly.
Most people don't hit it.
No.
So it might be cheaper for people in the long run. I don't know. But I don't like the idea of like this whole like, oh, we're gonna cap data. I know
what happened. I mean,
it makes me so nervous. It's such a slippery slope to go down.
Yeah, except I mean, we know they probably won't charge more than AT&T at the very least. So
yeah, that's probably true.
But still,
and you'll have better service.
I wonder if they have right now.
AT&T will never sponsor this show, by the way. They're like,
why?
They're probably throwing tomatoes at us right now. I always make fun of AT&T services.
Not me. You're ruining
so we were talking about Apple breaking 100 million iOS devices sold. Really. Apple has finally surpassed the 100 million iOS-based devices.
Yeah, that's from IDC this week.
It includes iPhones, iPads, and iPod Touches.
Yeah, I mean, that throws in a lot more.
That does throw in a lot.
But these are all devices that can access the App Store and play play any of those games and any of those apps. That's amazing. That's like one out
when
of every, there's like 300 million people in the U.S. There's like 1 out of every 3.
1 in 3 has one of those devices.
Or there's an iOS device.
I mean, I have an iTouch. I don't use it anymore.
But you got
But
one.
I have one.
Yeah, there you go.
I count. I'm part of that 100 million
You're one
people.
of them, even though they don't use it. Probably, I mean, not everyone uses them anymore, but even so, it's a ridiculous number of eyeballs that hit that App Store.
Yeah,
Good gravy.
And somebody was mentioning in the chat room, I found this very interesting, that I guess Samsung, I read about this, and we didn't get to put it in the rundown, but Samsung was offering free iPhone 4s to the people on Twitter, to some people on Twitter who were basically whining about how terrible their iPhone 4 was and everything, and severe drop calls and all this stuff, and Samsung was like, okay, just bring it in, or send it to us and we'll send you an iPhone 4.
They did that for, I think, a few people.
And then, but somebody else was saying that it was like some deal actually happening. Like if you were really unhappy, you could send it to Samsung, get an iPhone 4, and get a Galaxy back. So I find that
on AT&T.
Yeah, the AT&T version of the Galaxy. So I don't know. I'm curious if you're out there and you've done that switch. Like, get a hold of us, mobile@thisweekend.com. Like, we want to hear from you. We want to talk to you. Find out like what your experience was with it, because I'm very, very curious about that.
If that's true.
If that's like an actual promotion going on where they're saying like, hey,
that can't,
because there was a great ad. There was a great ad. I think it was in the Times. Where's the Samsung? Did you see it?
Yeah,
with the bars?
Had the bars and the word hello.
It said hello, and then it was 3. It was great.
Yeah.
What a great ad.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, let's move on. So, but yeah, if you've been out there and you traded your phone up for, I won't say up because I don't want to offend Mike, but if you traded your phone in for a Samsung on AT&T from an iPhone 4, get a hold of us. So Apple, during the AntennaGate press conference last week, made it a big point to say that all cell phones have the same problem, this attenuation issue.
Yeah.
And they went on to show.
They picked out some
specific phones.
Yeah.
And said,
you can make these phones drop bars by holding them in a certain way too.
Right. And well, the companies that they singled out were not thrilled.
As you can imagine, they weren't too happy about that.
Yeah, they were not happy about that. And HTC actually was one of the companies that fired back, saying that the Droid Aeris's tech support call rate for reception issues was 0.016%. And that is quite a bit less than Apple's 0.55% mentioned at the press conference.
Right, that's true. But don't forget, that's a really visible
But it's also an internal antenna.
No, but I'm talking about Apple's visibility, I think, gets more people to call in.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure, but it's just a pet theory of mine.
Steve Jobs has pet
theories. I have my own pet theories.
I see. I think my pet theory is that you're Steve Jobs' pet.
And that's not nice. Oh, no. Here he is.
I don't know. I guess Samsung and BlackBerry also just came out swinging.
Nokia didn't like it either. Nokia said we prioritize antenna design, and we spent a lot of time and money on that.
Yeah, they got really upset about that.
But then Apple put up a video of the little mini, N97?
The N97
dropping,
having problems.
5 of 7 bars when they were squeezing it, so...
Who knows?
It's just, it's getting kind of silly, the back and forth. It is what it is. Apple didn't really say everything they needed to say. It won't quite go away, but I think that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
You're probably
I think
right.
next week, which reminds me, I got my bumper money back.
Oh,
from
well,
Apple
that's nice.
today. I got my credit refund.
You can take us all to dinner.
For 2 bumpers, yeah.
Because those bumpers are expensive.
I got $63 back from Apple today.
We can all go out to dinner now.
Yeah, we can do.
Yay. All right, let's see how many sexual innuendos we can make in the next story. So Apple furiously yanked the chat roulette-like iChatter from the App Store this week, as if anyone expected it to last more than 15 seconds.
They were mistaken.
Which I suppose is as long as its main user base lasts in general. It sure seems like iChatter will be spending long nights from here on out with a jar of Vaseline and some Kleenex. Yeah, I thought that was fun.
Oh, God.
But yeah, chat roulette in the App Store, not going to happen.
I wonder what they were thinking, because I wonder if anyone will expose themselves on this. And sure enough, they did.
I like that. Alex in our chat room says they certainly pulled it quickly. They couldn't get it off quick enough. iTunes. Yeah. I like that a lot. That's great. Good job. I love our viewers. I love them so much. So I'm very interested about this next story. Nokia, there was a concept phone, a Nokia Kinetic concept phone. Cool. Really awesome. And it was, it's just rad. It's this little, it's the shape of the concept smartphone looks comfortable to hold. But the device has the ability to balance in this weird, easy-to-view upright position.
Well, yeah, it's like, I don't know if we're going to show pictures of it, but it's like, are we going to show pictures of it?
I don't know. I can probably pull them up, but go ahead,
we
continue.
Need to show pictures of it. Well, first of all, it's a concept by this guy called Jeremy Hopkins. He's an English guy. And it's like, the phone basically has a big bump on the bottom of it that it can pivot up onto. And so it can, has a little electromagnet inside, and it can raise itself up. Yeah, okay, here it is. That's what it looks like. And
that is what it looks like. I don't know why my screen is not maximized.
You should be able to scroll it to the right.
But yeah, it well, this is the main page that he has.
Okay.
So here's the Kinetic. I'm sorry.
So yeah, here we go. So the bottom of it you see has a sort of bulge in the bottom, which it can tilt back and forth on.
Yeah, and like a punching clown.
Kind of like those old punching clowns, which we remember so well from our
long ago.
And it has a little electromagnet in that little bump, and the phone can tilt itself up or lay itself back down again.
Yeah.
At will. So
so if the phone rings, it'll lift.
Yeah,
it'll
it's like you leave
it
lying down and you get a message or something, or the phone rings and it'll lift up and you can see it in it.
Really cool,
sort of
student concept design. We're seeing a lot of really amazing concept designs.
Oh, I don't know if he's a student, but yeah, it's.
Well, it says student design on the.
It's a really.
On the thing, it's a student project.
Oh, okay, cool.
On his on the watermarking. So, but yeah, it's a fan thing. Nuno wants to know if it's a fan. Yeah, it's a fan thing like that HTC One that we showed a couple weeks ago. But these phones have got to be made. Like, I see phones like that, I'm just like, gosh, that'd be so cool. Like, I think people would really like that.
Yeah, it's like a delightful little thing. It'd be a lot of fun, and people will love seeing the thing pop up.
It's just really neat.
And it's new, and
hopefully Nokia hires that guy.
Or they figure out a way to actually make that work.
Yeah, and then he will sue them for a lot of money, adding to the myriad of lawsuits that everybody's suing everyone for.
Bat off every day.
So you brought this up to me. I didn't even see this, but I guess you're not a fan of the ZAG invisible shields.
I don't hate them, but I'm not a huge fan of the the ZAG shields that you put over the front and the back. I mean, I think I don't like they have a weird texture on them. They're like wrinkly.
That's if you do it wrong.
No, they're just like bumpy. Not like I like the power support ones.
Okay.
The material. Anyway, regardless of that, the ZAG makes shields that go around the iPhone 4s, the front and
full
back,
body.
and they also make ones that go around just the band to protect that from scratching. And apparently, the ones that go just around the band will help alleviate the death grip problem.
Like that, it's been named as a
death grip. The death grip and the dreaded death grip. Yeah, so if you put it's a $10 plastic shield, and
I don't know.
Just wraps around it and it stops your hand from touching it directly, and apparently that stops the attenuation from happening as badly as before.
The other, the other two ideas that we've seen have been the Band-Aid sticker, which is fun. It's a little Band-Aid that goes around the corner.
Clever.
My favorite is actually the end call.
It looks just like the end call button.
Looks just like the end call button for the iPhone, and it goes around the corner. And I think that's the best.
I think it's kind of funny.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
The end call thing that's my favorite.
But actually, it might stop it from ending a call.
Yeah, it might. But I just like that a lot. It's just fun. Fun and ironic. That's what Apple people like.
I don't know that it's
to be ironic.
Is it ironic?
Yeah, I think so.
Or is it?
It's end call, and it keeps the device from ending a call.
I'm not sure if
so that's irony.
Is that irony? Or is that, let's move on.
No, I'm telling you, Alex, this end call sticker thing, no, I'm pretty sure you can buy it. Someone in our chat room's like, no, I think it's a mock-up only. No, I'm pretty sure you can purchase it.
Well, I didn't look that closely. I saw it. I assumed somebody was selling it.
Yeah. Somebody has to be selling it. And if not, somebody sell it because someone's going to make a lot of money off this.
Or at least, you know, 30 or 40 bucks.
Yeah, even if you sell them for $1, it's just $1.
Yeah.
Ship them out. I mean, geez. Yeah, there's an AntennaGate. That's the Band-Aid ones. But yeah, so anyway, that's kind of interesting. This next story is really sad, and I'm kind of upset. But I guess we didn't not see this coming.
Yeah.
Google has officially discontinued the Nexus One.
Yeah.
Moment of silence. Just all right. We're all kind of upset in the Android community. I'm bummed. I'm really, really bummed.
Well, I guess they didn't buy enough of them.
Yeah, well, it's
I mean, it's an unlocked...
They officially discontinued the Nexus One late last week, and then they totally sold out of all their remaining stock earlier this week. And they're saying that they're not working on the Nexus 2. We reported on that a few weeks ago. That Schmitty was like, nope, no Nexus 2.
Right.
We don't see a need. Yeah. But the thing is I can't imagine a world in which Google is like, nah, we're not working on a phone. I don't believe that. I'm sorry, Google, I don't believe you. I think that you're working on a phone that won't be called the Nexus 2, which is your sideways way of getting around it and saying, oh yeah, we're not making a Nexus 2. We're making a massive, awesome, super happy Google phone, whatever they're going to call it.
Are they going to sell it unlocked? Is that what makes it different than just a phone that they're going to make with a partner?
I think that what they will do is they will do what the Galaxy is doing, especially if they make a phone that, especially with Gingerbread, kind of converging the UI and making it a little bit more streamlined, and the legacy issues. I think that we're going to see some kind of phone from Google. I hope we see some phone from Google that is across all carriers, and that it takes advantage of the UI, the new UI that Gingerbread will have.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for.
That would be nice. That sounds...
fingers crossed.
That's, I think, way too much to hope for, though.
I don't know. Maybe they'll partner with somebody like HTC then. Maybe they'll partner with somebody like Samsung or HTC to make a phone that goes across all platforms that's basically like Google. Because HTC made the Nexus One. Yeah. But maybe it'll be branded HTC.
Well, oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, that might be different.
It'll be branded HTC, but it'll be in conjunction with Google. Like, it'll be made by Google. We'll see.
We'll see. I mean, all the carriers... I mean,
HTC will make it because it'll be amazing, and then...
the carriers don't like that. I mean, look at all that junk. They want to put their bloatware on those things so badly. I mean, it's hard for them not to.
They won't, but Google may...
Well, can they insist? Google makes, I mean, Apple can insist with AT&T...
Google doesn't care if they don't make all that money on bloatware. Who cares?
I know Google doesn't care, but do they care?
They'll just put that phone out there. It doesn't matter. They'll just be like, we don't care. Too bad. We're going to put the phone out anyway. I just think I'm really hoping that there's another Google phone in the horizon, especially with Gingerbread coming. I think it'll be there. There should be a phone out there that is like that is the Nexus One, where developers can buy it, where it gets those updates immediately. But maybe that's their way of saying, oh, we're going to streamline the UI so much that you're not going to need that kind of phone.
Maybe
because everyone will start getting those builds faster. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I can't believe this video. There's a video online. Samsung is apparently making unbreakable AMOLED screens.
Yeah, they're working on it.
Yeah. In a couple years, they want to make unbreakable AMOLED. It's this new type of plastic panel. It's going to replace traditional glass in these new displays. And so we have a video of this. It can take a huge beating.
It can take a beating and a bending.
Yeah, and a bending. I like that. A beating and a bending. Do we have the video? The future's coming, ladies and gents. Oh. The future is coming. That is some Jetsons stuff.
You're gonna make like a bracelet.
Display. I know. My phone. Maybe it'll be one of those snap bracelets. I could have a snap bracelet cell phone. Yeah. That would be the best. It'd be like living in Minority Report. It'd be the greatest thing ever. Yeah. And I could go around like slapping people with it.
You can just smash it with a hammer and it'll never break.
Anything. That's so cool. I just love that. That's just really neat. Yeah, it's all like Tony Stark, like it's just so like superhero-like to me, or like very futuristic. Yeah, like I just love that.
A little display. That's
really
the
cool.
Future, yeah.
Greeting cards with video. I mean, the possibilities are limitless when you see something like that. It's just like you feel like you're seeing the future.
And then hitting it with a hammer. And
then bashing it with a hammer and bending it and trying to break it and not being able to. So, yeah, really cool, Samsung. Like, keep up the good work.
Yeah.
It'll just be more screen shortages for everybody. Like, that's all I can think of.
They better work on their capacity. first.
Censored Tracy two-way risk communicator. I like that. I like that we get censored for that. Like we can't say Philip K. Dick or Dick Tracy in the chat.
You just said it out loud.
Censored.
Yeah, you can.
Well, I can say it on the show.
You could have to type. Yeah.
But I can't. Yeah. But yeah, really neat. I really like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell a Mel Gibson joke about that because
Oh, no.
I was so excited to write it. Now I feel bad.
Well, because it doesn't. You can't squeeze it in.
Censored Tracy, where are you?
It's too late now.
Good news, everyone! I'm a big Futurama fan. That's what Professor Farnsworth is my notifications on my text messages. Anyway, good news, everyone! The Droid X has been rooted. I just that's so exciting to me.
Yeah.
That was our last week's epic fail. Motorola's digitally signed bootloader for the Droid X hindered root.
eFuse.
Yep. Nope. Well, Birdman over at the All Droid forums cracked the X.
I mean, it was just.
Got it
well,
done.
I mean, I guess there's
Officially been rooted. No ROMs. It's very basic.
Right,
He's in, but not. Yeah. I'm excited. I think that's just the coolest thing ever. Kudos to you, Birdman. I love that I refer to people as their handles.
Oh,
Birdman,
if it's a
Planet
hacker,
Being, Cyanogen Mod. I'm just throw them out.
Hackers don't have.
I know them.
Well, what is you supposed to call them?
I know. I feel like I'm buddy with them because I know them by handle.
That's not true, though.
I know. Nope, not yet. Cyanogen Mod, if you're watching the show, I've been trying to contact you.
Yeah, he's supposed to. I thought he was going to be on.
I've been trying to get a hold of him. I've been harassing him on Twitter.
I don't know what you're doing wrong.
So maybe I shouldn't harass him.
I'll try.
Maybe he gets harassed enough. Yeah, maybe he'll.
I don't know. No, I'm sure he'd want to talk to you about something.
Something.
Who wouldn't want to be on the show?
Who wouldn't want to be on? Well, I'll tell you who wouldn't want to be on the show.
Cyanogen?
Steve Jobs.
Oh, yeah, him too.
Yeah. So exciting. Really good. Good job. And speaking of Android, there was Google officially released more platform distribution numbers, and it looks like finally over 50%, it's actually 55% of users are on Eclair.
Yeah.
And that's just Eclair. That's not even counting Froyo, which is another 3%.
No, that's not much.
So, but I mean, that's something. But at least over half of users are on 2.1 or higher.
Yeah.
Which is, we're finally starting to see the legacy issue just sort of do this.
Yeah.
It's good.
Hopefully
really
by
glad.
this time next year it'll be sort of a distant memory.
Hopefully. And we'll get to where Google was saying they want to do yearly updates like Apple does. I got my fingers crossed for that.
Yeah. They're doing it.
But yeah, I'm glad. But again, HTC, Froyo, Evo, they sort of rhyme. Just, please. I feel like I should beg on air or something.
After they hear your plea, I'm sure they're going to start working much harder and faster
yes,
than they
of
were
course.
before.
Yeah.
Oh.
Obviously, because that's I call all the shots at HTC.
Secretly.
Work harder. But yeah, they're all wishing for Gingerbread though, and it's coming out later this year, and we'll see. We'll see how late that comes out for other
even by
phones.
then, it's gonna start to seem
it's
kind of
gonna
old
seem
by
like such a
then.
nightmare. Some phones aren't gonna get it, and some phones are, and it's. I have a very real fear that at some point, Gingerbread's gonna get released, and people are gonna go nuts because their older phone is
What?
they're just not gonna cut it for Gingerbread. They're gonna have to hack
yeah,
their phone,
and it'll never
root
come,
it.
and they just realize that their phone is more or less worthless now.
Yeah. Digisquirrel wants someone to make something cellular called a bear claw or a cruller. I'm very amused by that. I want. They should have named instead of cupcake, it should have been cruller. That's just
I've never heard of that.
Way funnier. Cruller? It's like a donut.
It's like a bear claw.
Sort of.
I don't know.
Mike Myers orders one in Wayne's World. He gets crullers.
I don't
at the
recall
donut
that.
shop.
Don't recall.
All right. Anyway. All right. So I'm really excited about this. So we always talk about AT&T. It's kind of a jerk move that they have banned side-loading third-party apps onto their Android phones.
Yeah, I hate that.
And somebody made this sideload wonder machine, and I love the name of it. I think it's great. They made this program. It is Windows-based and will allow you to load any APK, so any package, any Google app, on any Android app onto your Android phone, without rooting, without hacking, nothing. So AT&T users, start your Android engines and go and get Sideload Wonder Machine. That's what it's called, Sideload Wonder Machine. Sounds like a carousel I would ride.
You think it'll work forever?
I don't know that they could really break it. Because the thing is for WebOS, they had this great homebrew community, and there was a thing called WebOS Quick Install, and you didn't actually have to root your phone. It was just a matter of plugging it into your computer, and you could load patches. You could load. I mean, you could load all sorts of stuff, customization things. It was really cool.
I thought that caused problems.
No, I actually never had a problem with mine. And they had a really great. They had the WebOS Doctor, and it was like you could factory reset your phone like immediately, remove all the patches and everything if there was an over the air. It was really cool. But yeah, this seems sort of similar. So
that's great. Now you can get Swipe and what else?
Everything.
Everything. All
Whatever
the third-party, unapproved third-party apps.
Unapproved apps. Yeah.
Isn't there a lot of bad
I don't
stuff
think
in
you're
there?
able to even get I don't even think you're able to get GameLoft apps that aren't in the market,
Right.
like on GameLoft's website. You couldn't even get those.
Why?
So now, because they're third party, because they're not in the market. I know. It's really dumb. But anyway, that's it for the news.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, and by the way, white iPhones got delayed for their 6 months, which means Apple's probably fixing the antenna problem on those.
That's pure speculation. Who knows? But yeah, I
love speculating.
Last Friday they said it'll be the end of July, and then now today it's like by the end of the year.
Oh yeah, by the way, by the end of the year.
Could be any time. What is going on over there?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's happened?
I don't know what's happened.
Well,
I think it
it's the
yellows.
antenna.
I think it yellows really badly. Like if left out in like a hot car, something like I'm just.
Is just making this up?
No, because there was a thing they were saying that like the color wasn't exactly right, and that somebody had said there was a yellowing problem. Like you were seeing these weird like yellow because of the glue and
right,
stuff.
but I don't think that was happening over time. I think they just came out like that.
I don't know.
No, I know you don't know.
But I think that there was some more testing done. I bet, and it was probably yellowing like at some point. Maybe they have like some sort of machine that lets it like age it, and it was like
I'm sure they do that.
Yellowing like
they
a
have,
newspaper.
Well, they have like UV.
Yeah.
They can accelerate.
Maybe
UV.
they accelerated UV and that like yellowed like an old newspaper.
That could be, but that's pure speculation.
That'd suck. We're gonna talk about Apple a little bit more, and somebody mentioned Foxconn. We're gonna mention that too, because it's time for Epic Win, Epic Fail. Every time I see that, it's just ridiculous. I love it. So I'm not exactly sure which Taiwanese news agency put this together, but even if you're the world's biggest Apple fanboy, it's pretty funny. So we have to roll this video.
贾伯斯忙灭火。苹果电脑创办人贾伯斯帮他的公司赚了好几十亿美元，这要多谢 iPad 跟 iPhone 的功劳。苹果现在的大小竟然比微软还大，贾伯斯变成当下最重要的科技业界领袖。可是又有人说，贾伯斯的生意做得越大，他也变得越来越邪恶。 当第4代 iPhone 的样品被科技部落格 Gizmodo 拿到的时候，贾伯斯要求警察搜 Jason Chen 的房子，逼他交出样本。最近有一些报道指控苹果合约的代工厂剥削员工，有人认为苹果对应的态度太冷漠。 很多使用者并不喜欢买 iPhone， 就一定得跟 AT&T 公司绑约，决定集体告苹果电脑。最新的问题是 iPhone 收讯的障碍。可是贾伯斯说，问题不在苹果，而是在消费者的手挡到了 iPhone 的天线，导致收讯不良。手不要挡到就没事了。可是当消费者讯息杂志拒绝推荐第4代 iPhone 的时候，贾伯斯发现代际大条了。 贾伯斯开记者会解释这些问题。贾伯斯说 ，iPhone 第4代是有天线问题，没错，可是其他智慧手机也都有一样的问题。如果大家还是不满意的话，苹果会免费发送便宜的天线盖来解决问题。
That was just so magical.
What? Yeah.
I love the part where he chops the guy's fingers off,
holding
but
it
just
wrong.
to fix it. Yeah, you're holding it wrong.
Whack.
That's what you should have yelled. You're holding it wrong. Just don't hold it that way. Let me cut your fingers off and show you how to hold it.
Yeah.
I just like that's so there's so much win in that. Like I just
Everything about it.
why aren't our news agencies like that?
I
Why aren't we seeing people on CNN using The Sims or whatever that was to create these like amazing news packages? Like that was the best thing I've ever seen. I wish our news was like that. Can we just? In fact, I think Taiwanese news should come here forever.
Yeah, I'd love to see them do every story.
Yeah, every story. I want to see him do like Lindsay Lohan going to jail.
Oh,
I want to see him do. I want to see him do all like the market crash, everything.
Yeah.
And just everything with Steve Jobs as Darth Vader. it's just so weird. Like, it's just the funniest. I just think it's so great.
The words, yeah, the English signs and the things that they say. Very good.
But as always, for every light, there is a dark, which brings us to this week's epic fail.
Yeah.
So this flashlight app gets approved in the App Store, and Apple pulls it because apparently you could put in this secret little code and unlock proxy tethering, which was a big deal for people who still had unlimited AT&T plans. But here's the thing. While I'm usually one of the first people in line to get on Apple about this, my fail is actually for the developer. This is a huge fail, and I'll tell you why. You moron who developed this flashlight app.
Oh boy.
You've now pushed Apple one step further, and the rest of the development community for mobile, Google, everybody who has now seen this happen is one step further toward justifying asking their devs for their entire source code and approving it for the market.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Yeah.
Like, I really, like, I take umbrage with this app. Like, I'm very upset about this. And now it looks cool to hide these, like, crazy Easter eggs in your app. But what about malicious code?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it could have so easily been something malicious. And wait, no, you know, and again, I'm always the first one to jump in line, but way to go, Apple, like, testing this. Like, this could have stolen people's credit card information. Like, how do they miss that?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, well, they've got so many apps to test. How extensive is the testing? Obviously, they can't know how. Yeah, they can't know the source code of all these things and look through it and understand what all of it is.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just bottom line is, if you're gonna tether your phone, just root it. Just root the phone. Yeah, it was a 15-year-old kid. He sold this flashlight app for $1 each, and he just wanted to make a quick buck. Threw it up in the app market, threw it up in the App Store. Never imagined it would get approved. Got approved. Whole bunch of people bought it. Whole bunch of news stories run with it. More people buy it. Apple yanks it.
But he
kid walks away with a fat paycheck.
Does he?
I think so.
How many people? I don't know how many people downloaded it.
Do they pay him if it violates the terms of use in the store?
I'm going to guess that they wouldn't at that point.
I'm curious. If you're out there, 15-year-old kid developer, I can't say call us, but, you know.
You can't say that?
Email us. Yeah. mobile@thisweekend.com. All right. We are, I think that's it for our epic fail.
Yeah.
So we have an interview of the week. We've got some things to do. My God, it's already 4:54. I was not keeping track of time. What's wrong with me?
I don't know. The news was running really long.
Why didn't you push me around a little bit?
I thought you were always on top of this.
I was having such a good time telling the news and doing this crazy video. I mean, all right, it's time to talk to Aaron Kasten, founder of AndroidSWAG.com, and also a co-founder of the Big Android BBQ. What's up, Aaron?
Hey, how's it going?
Sorry we made you wait for so long. Jeez Louise.
That's all right. I was running late anyways.
Oh, good.
Well, thank you so much for coming, and we're both like really excited. Me more so than Mike because I'm the big Android geek. But you are a self-proclaimed Androidpreneur, which I really like that this term has been coined. And you founded the site AndroidSWAG.com, and you're also doing the Big Android BBQ in Austin, Texas this October. So let's talk about, let's start with the barbecue, because we'll get to the swag in a second, but let's start with the barbecue. Tell everybody what exactly the barbecue is, when is it, where is it, how much does it cost, what's the deal with the Big Android BBQ?
Okay, well, I went to I.O., went to South by Southwest, got to know a bunch of these great people in the Android community, and we had such a great time getting to know each other. I thought it would be fun to put an event together that was more community oriented and less about a developer conference or this specific speeches here. We really wanted it to be about just getting together and having a really good time. So we got back. We wanted to bring our friend Scotty Brown from Android Guys into town, but he said he had a lot of friends in Texas and he didn't know if he could get to see us all at the same time. So we started planning this barbecue, and it started out with like 20 people. And we did a little beta barbecue with about 20 people. It was like 15. It went off pretty well. We had a great time. And then, it was like, okay, this worked. Let's see if we can put something a little bigger together. And Kyle, the Droid guy, got on board about a month ago and has really helped push this to the next level. We're getting some sponsorship. Samsung is officially a sponsor at this point. We're working to get everybody on board that we can. But the idea is really to come together, have a really good time. It's not going to be real formal. We're going to have, all you can eat barbecue, all you can drink beer. So it is an adult event. There's not going to be children. You have to be 18 or older. If you're under 18, you have to come with a supervised adult.
Sorry, Mike.
Or a legal guardian. Legal guardian.
I could be your legal guardian, I guess.
Thanks.
Yeah. No, you're not invited. I'm just kidding.
You're not. Everybody will beat you up.
What the?
Yeah.
We're gonna roast you on a spit and serve you.
This is sounding horrific. I don't know about this.
No. It is Texas. We're big fans of attacking people.
Oh, I've heard about
Scary.
Texas. Yeah.
So it's October 3rd. October 3rd, Austin, Texas. 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. 10 p.m. 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then actually, if you come in the day before, we're having a AT&T sponsored event. It's going to be laser tag, iPhone versus Android. So maybe you could come and play on the iPhone.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I'll hold up my end.
Laser tag.
The laser
Pew,
tag,
pew, pew.
which I've never done in my life.
You seem very athletic. I don't understand.
Okay,
You've never done laser tag? That seems ridiculous. You're probably more of a big paintballer.
Obviously, I would do laser tag for paintball, but.
So, okay, so it's first weekend of October. It's on the barbecue's on the 3rd. This event is the other event is on the 2nd.
Right.
And the 3rd is on a Sunday for anybody wanting to drive out, anything like that. So will there be an iPhone or Steve Jobs pinata?
That's a great question.
That
wasn't in the works, but I'll definitely write that down and put that on the list of things to look
It just
into.
seems like a lot of fun.
I think that is a terrible idea.
That
you should
is the
not
best
put
idea.
that on the list because.
Well, maybe if there was just a man in a black turtleneck
that you would hit with
and
a stick.
jeans that you hit with a stick, and then Android stuff falls out from the inside of him.
This is what we need to end this antagonism between the two camps.
So much fun.
We don't need to be hitting an image of the phone or of Steve Jobs. I mean, that's just terrible.
We should put up a Mike Hobbs
Let's
pinata.
not do that. Let's not do that.
Yeah, I think we'll all just have a good time and drink some beer. We're gonna have a concert during the last probably 2 hours. So that'll be interesting.
Who's going to be the musical guest?
Are you able to announce anything?
Not telling.
All right, all right.
He sounds like he knows.
That's exciting.
Be good, though. I'm really excited to see these guys live.
Well, Austin's such a great music community, so I have every confidence that you're going to have somebody great.
Yeah.
So what's the cost for this? Like, what do you get for the price of a ticket? Let's say someone's watching the show and they go, you know what, that sounds like a blast. And I have never been to Austin and I'm going to rent a car and drive down there. What does it cost and what do you get?
Right now, it's going to be $30, but until August 15th, it's $25. So you get a $5 discount if you do it before August 15th. It's all you can eat barbecue. We're going to have pork and brisket and all sorts of sides. We're still kind of hammering those details out. It's going to be all you can drink beer. I think we're up to 12 kegs now. And we'll have water for anybody who doesn't want to drink beer.
And all you can tweet.
And we'll have the tweet board going and, all that fun stuff. And then the live music, we're going to have a couple of special guests. We can't quite announce yet, but assuming all that works out, we'll have maybe some really short 2-3 minute, 5-minute keynotes or something like that, just to get up there and say hello and welcome everybody to the party.
I really like I like Nuno in our chat room. His idea is basically to have cupcake, donut, eclair, gingerbread, as the dessert table.
That's a good idea.
I really like that a lot. I think that's a great idea. So is this a one-time thing? Do you want to make this a yearly festival for Android lovers? Are you planning on keeping it in Austin every year? Let's say while this dreams come true, this becomes a huge thing. Would you keep it in Austin every year, or would it be a traveling meetup? Would you be able to switch it out, things like that?
Well, the plan, we're still kind of working on those details. We want to get through this first one to make sure it really goes off well. There is a big picture behind it. We want to do them as many times as possible. We've already had the UK barbecue. They tried to jump on board, and we want to make that happen. We want to take it one step at a time, though. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We want to make sure these events go off, as amazing as we're trying to make them. This first barbecue is going to be huge. It's gotten way bigger than I was ever expecting. It's becoming a full-time job almost, and it's exciting. We do want to do them. This is the big Android barbecue, so we may have some not big just Android barbecues.
The average Android barbecue.
Satellite
medium
events.
Android barbecue.
And we're right now we're talking maybe 2 events a year in different locations.
Very cool. I really like the idea of having an event, and I know you had mentioned this, like having an event that's basically not developer based. You don't have to be in the trade to come to the show. You don't have to be a member of the press. You don't have to be, you don't have to be any of those things. You can just love your phone and love the OS that comes with it. And it's funny because we just saw the video like a few weeks ago of the Apple, the Friend Bar, the parody where you can go and talk to an Apple representative that's like, let's talk about how cool Apple is, and talk about other offshoot hipster things that Apple fans talk about. Yeah. But I really like the idea of this in terms of it being something that everybody can go to. I mean, if you're over 18, but that everyone can go to and really enjoy, and have the opportunity to sort of have this camaraderie about
talk
it.
About phones.
It's a cool thing.
Yeah.
So you have a really great promotion with Continental Airlines that is going on right now for out-of-towners. If you're looking to fly in, why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about that?
Sure. That started, we want to make this as easy for people to get to, as cost affordable as possible. Not everybody can afford the $400 to $500 it costs to go to I/O and all these other events. That's where the $25 and $30 came in to attend the event. And we really want to make getting there and staying there as affordable as possible. I've contacted pretty much every airline out there, and Continental really stepped up. They're giving 10% off if you use our coupon code on the website. I don't have it right in front of me, but if somebody will paste that in the room, you get 10% off. That's a pretty sweet deal, and we've been comparing prices, and sometimes you can get a better deal at some at some specific airports, but for the most part, Continental's come in to be the best deal. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten a hotel deal worked out. There's a UT football game that weekend, so nobody.
Yeah, that'll be a big. That's gonna be a tough one.
Really?
Yeah, big UT Longhorns.
I don't know what that is.
Are you sure? So where can people go? We're going to talk about Android Swag now, but where can people go to get more info about the Big Android Barbecue? I know that we have it in the chat room, but where can they find you on Twitter? I really love, by the way, if we can take my screen real quick, if you buy a ticket, you get this super awesome Android Barbecue t-shirt, which I think is the coolest thing ever.
Credit Angie for that from Android and Me.
Yeah, it is rad.
Yeah.
I really like it. It's something that I would actually wear, which is rare for me.
Sure.
I like kind of goofy-ish shirts, and
That's a cool looking
it's
shirt.
fun. It's kitschy, but it's also it looks kind of retro-ish.
No, it's good.
I like the design
it's
a lot.
Nice design, yeah.
Yeah, it's really neat. So even if you can't go to the barbecue, buy a shirt anyway. Buy a ticket, buy a shirt, support Android, support all the people who are putting this together.
Yeah, we'll have an option if people can't attend the barbecue, they'll be able to buy a shirt.
Nice.
And help support it. We're also working on a carpooling, kind of car share something. We're still working on that, obviously.
Yeah.
But we want to support, people. We want to be green like Android. We want to help people who want to get there, can't necessarily afford a flight. Maybe the person who loans their car out gets a free ticket into the event or something.
We're road tripping it. We're not flying, so I think we're gonna road trip.
Yeah, we're gonna have a great.
And it's gonna be ridiculous.
Hilarious.
I'm gonna dump your body in the middle of the desert.
Oh,
That's what I'm gonna do.
I am worried about being killed, but
you should be by me, not by anybody else.
No, not by you.
Have you ever seen The Hills Have Eyes?
That's what I'm talking about.
Cousins.
Yeah, I'm frightened.
My crazy radiation-infected cousins.
Yeah, I know about that.
All right, let's not talk about them. Let's talk about Android Swag. So was this you just alone founding Android Swag, or did you come up with this with somebody else? What was your, how did Android Swag come about?
I didn't start it on my own. The idea started about, it was last September, so it's been almost a year now. I was talking with, I don't know if you've ever seen him on Twitter, @PixelAddict. Him and I were chatting last September, and I said, man, I'm drinking the Android Kool-Aid. Wouldn't that be a great shirt, to have an Android guy busting through a wall and have him saying, oh, yeah, or something like that. And so, that was kind of the seed that started this tree. or this whole thing. And then in January it came up again. That's a great picture to use. And then in
I know my user base. I know my viewer base, sir. I know them well.
It's actually my fiance. Don't tell her I said that.
Tell her we objectified her on our show.
So it just kind of grew, and then I met a guy, Jacob Southers. He's an @Droid dev online. And, we got together. I said, let's make this happen. And oh, great, a picture that won't load.
It's loaded on my screen. There we go.
Oh, it is. Hey, I was just wearing that shirt. It's one of my favorites. Anyways, so we kind of got it going. He was going to take on the web development side of things. I'm kind of marketing and business management and running the show. And it's just kind of been a snowball since we started. We're big on taking requests and getting whatever anybody asks. A lot of the stuff started out as stuff that we wanted personally. Pretty much every shirt we have, I wear all the time.
Yeah. And there's some really great shirts. I mean, really, really cool designs. I put up one on Twitter the other day. I don't know if you guys are selling it, but just in general, like Android shirt designs are really amazing. So, and I'm constantly impressed.
Yeah, where do most of these shirt designs come from? Are they originals? I mean, or do people present these to you, or do you try to make these yourselves?
Most of them are original. The exploded Android one you showed a minute ago is by, I don't remember the artist's name now, but it's by somebody else, but we contacted them, and I don't know if I can tell yet, but we're releasing a new version of that shirt that will be exclusive to AndroidSWAG. So that's kind of exciting. That exploded Android shirt is, in my opinion, it's the best artwork we have. Unfortunately, it's not an original.
This I know this one that was the one that I tweeted the other day. I don't think you guys are selling it, but I really love it. The Andy versus the iPhone Army. I just I love that shirt.
That's a cute one.
It's so great.
Missed that. We'll have to contact them, see if we can get that.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I always put up weird, quirky shirts. But anyway, so. For you, I'm imagining the aha moment to found the site was when you guys were looking around for Android stuff and there was just nothing. And that's the thing, you don't really see a lot of sort of concentrated swag stores for things like Apple. You really don't see things like Apple shirt. You know what I mean? You don't see that. So I really like that you've sort of taken the initiative and done this. We heard that you may or may not have been the guy or know the guy who got Cyanogen and Evo. Is this true?
Yeah, that was me. I really miss it too, by the way. That was such a great phone. I miss my Evo. Yeah, I sent that to him.
For the greater good, sir. For the greater good. And I can't thank you enough for that.
I contacted him and said I wanted to donate to them because we sell some Cyanogen branded products. And of course we had his permission before we did that. And, I contacted him and said I was going to donate some money to him. And he was looking for the phone at the time. And I said, well, why don't I just, sell you mine at a lot less than what you're asking for. And, we'll call that my donation to you guys. And he loved the idea. And I sent him a big box of swag along with it. And,
very cool.
He's been really, in fact, thanks to Cyanogen, we had our busiest week ever. It was crazy.
That's really cool. And it's nice to see people involved in the Android community, sort of helping each other out that way. Yeah. I really like to see that, where it's not necessarily barter, but it's just hey, if you help me out, I'll help you out. And it's just very organic in that way, which I really like. It's very grassroots to me.
Wild West.
I like that. Yeah, very Wild West. It is. Everyone's helping each other out. There's not a whole lot, So you've got all kinds of stuff on the site. You've got T-shirts, you've got playing cards, you even have Android soap. And so, for you, what is your favorite product on the store?
Man, that's a tough question. I love them all. I wear my watch. I don't know if you can get a good view of that.
He's rocking the watch.
I love this thing. These are really nice watches. This is a brand new item, and I think this might be my new favorite. But this is my old G1. You can see it's old white modded with black buttons. But anyway. This is a super tiny little Android decal. And
that's great.
Super tiny. I love this thing. This is, our normal car decal in comparison to super
Oh.
I love that. That's awesome.
You could put that anywhere.
It's it's like my little the little figure on Twitter.
Put on a little corner
My
thing.
Twibbin.
That's cool.
It's like my Twibbin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cool thing is that was actually a customer request. Somebody asked if we could do those, and so we tried, and now we're gonna. They just went on the store about 20 minutes ago.
Oh.
So
That's
they're
awesome.
available now on our website.
Big announcement. New mini Android sticker on AndroidSWAG.com. Go
Yeah.
get one.
These came in today too.
Oh, those are cool.
They'll be available. I don't know. I just ordered a couple to see how they came out.
I don't have a cell
I
phone
like
charm
them.
slot.
So
Yeah, the new
we'll have them,
slot.
we'll have them soon.
I want a charm slot.
You should have got a
I missed
Droid
that.
X.
The Droid X has one.
Droid X has one.
Ugh.
Yeah, I saw that.
My fiance's been rubbing that in my face.
The slot.
Yep.
Yep.
So, Android is obviously not just a business for you, it's a passion. And so, I mean, obviously we know why in terms of like the community in Android is really amazing. And, but for you, like, where do you see AndroidSWAG in the future? Like, where do you see it in like 5 months, in 5 years? I mean, where? Like, I mean, I'm sure you have big plans for it. And I just see this really taking off and this being a big thing.
It's funny you asked that question because I was just talking about it with our team the last couple of days and saying, we need to be planning for what's coming in, like you said, 5 months, what's coming in 3 months, not just continuing to improve for right now. We need to be ready for what's coming. And so a big part of what we're doing right now is improving our processes on the backside. We had some issues with inventory management originally. That's been all squared away at this point. We're doing this out of my house, so I mean we're learning, we're making mistakes. I've never been in retail like this. This is all kind of learn from our mistakes, and we know that we're really on top of communicating with our customers. Anytime somebody has a problem, sometimes we're contacting them before they even know it's a problem. And that's really important to me personally, to make sure. I know if I order something and it shows up 8 weeks later, I'm not happy about it. So
Right.
I take that to heart. I see Android going mainstream. I see in the next 5 to 6 months, Android's going to be mass market. It's going to be everywhere. And we need to be prepared for that. And so we just upgraded servers. We're improving shipping processes, really a lot of the back-end stuff. We're going to be doing a website refresh that was supposed to happen this week. We just didn't have time during the server move. Cleaning it up, improving the buying experience, making it easier, one click to get here, a more uniform design. Right now, it's a little inconsistent.
You also have free shipping right now on the site.
Yeah, that's not going away. We will do free shipping to all of North America. We're really trying to get international shipping. That's driving me crazy right now.
Right.
I want to ship to everywhere. We know people in Europe and Australia and the UK really want this stuff. We really want to get it to them, but we have to make sure it gets to them. We've tried to ship some stuff. Several have gotten lost in the mail. We got to make sure they're getting it, and it's at an affordable price. Unfortunately, some of these people want $80 to ship a shirt, and nobody's going to pay that.
Yeah,
So,
nobody wants to. Well, and you guys don't want to eat the cost, and nobody wants to pay that. So, I mean, $80 for a shirt is just. I won't pay $80 for a shirt at a fancy store.
Nope,
So,
not even at a fancy store.
Yeah. So, can one of our users wants to know? Can he link PayPal with checkout? Because I know you have Google Checkout, makes it very easy.
we have both.
You both, okay. And then, and also, some people in the chat room are saying that if you buy something from AndroidSWAG.com, you get maybe a couple little extra freebies in the mail with your order.
Yeah, that needs to be added to the website actually, because we don't really advertise that. But every order from AndroidSWAG every order comes with free swag. Every order in the United States, Canada, and Mexico comes with free swag and free shipping. So I mean, we want to make it as easy for people as possible.
Yeah, and that's really cool that you're just sort of, it's a nice token of appreciation to the people who are, checking out the site and everything. So let's give something away. I'm dying to give something away. What do you want to give out? We're going to give something away right now.
Well, I've got like 4 decals. In fact, I just got these in today, so why don't we give one of these little key charms away?
Okay.
Got a couple.
So here's what I'm thinking. And it's dented, slightly abused Android charm. And it is articulate. Okay, so I was thinking that we would give it away for our very astute, kind, amazing viewers in our chat room.
Yeah.
Because they work so hard every week. They work as hard as we do every week almost. They work harder, I think.
Is it that hard?
Yeah, and I feel like they deserve a chance to win something more than like, the 1,000 people that are, may or may not be watching the show right now. I can spell astute correctly. This is gonna be totally a game of chance. So I'm gonna write down a number between 1 and 100. And you guys are gonna guess the number. Don't switch to that camera, guys. They're gonna see what I wrote. Switch to Mike. Mike, say something important.
I'm gonna keep an eye on this number, and I'll confirm that it's all.
Okay.
I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see it? Here it is.
Okay.
All right, that's the number. Okay, so we're gonna give it. Should we like sing the Jeopardy theme song? What should we do? I should give it like.
What are you going to do? Are you going to say, "Hey, everybody, guess the number"?
Yeah,
now?
well, everybody's guessing right now. Look at that. We got numbers everywhere. Between 1 and 100. If you stop guessing more than once, if you guess more than once, you're going to be disqualified.
Are they gonna? So is it whoever guesses the right number gets it?
Whoever guesses closest. All right, everybody, stop. Okay. So.
No more entries.
No more entries. After haha in the chat room, it's after Digisquirrel haha or okay Creef. Creef says 22. That's our last guess. Stop. Okay.
Do I get to guess?
All right, are you ready? Do you want to see what the number is, everybody? Let's find out who was closest. I don't think I saw it, so it'll be whoever's closest.
No,
the number is 31.
31.
31.
I thought I saw a 30 in there
I saw a 29. I see a 34.
Who is closest to 31?
I see a 29. 29 is the closest I see so far. Oh, 33. So
30.
we're two. Okay, so we have two winners. It's a tie. Okay, wait. Let's do. All right. Wait. Now here's what we're gonna do. Digisquirrel has 29, and who else? Who had 33? Jick. I don't know, Jick. You guessed 40. You guessed 7 and 44 and 33.
Okay.
Jick,
Okay.
you are out. You guessed like 5 different numbers. Okay. All right. So Digisquirrel, you are the winner of that really cool. Heyo.
Heyo.
I love that. That's so great. I like feeling like Ed McMahon.
Yeah.
Like we just gave something really
Really
awesome
spectacular.
and spectacular away. All right, Digisquirrel, you may. How do you want them to contact you?
Have them send an email to admin@AndroidSWAG.com.
Admin. Okay, admin@AndroidSWAG.com. Digisquirrel, you got that? You good?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so next thing, what are we giving away?
Well, this one's for Mike.
Hey. Yeah. Okay.
There might be somebody in there in the chat room who wants that.
I want that.
Well, okay, we're gonna give it to you. I want you to put it on your iPad. on the
Mike
back.
wants that. Mike will take that.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I see that.
Aw,
I'm being big about it. I love it.
you are being big about it.
Thanks,
But
Aaron.
that's good. That's why you're here. Because you're big about it. You like that I bash you.
I do.
All right. Okay, so yeah, I want him to put it on his iPad. Make him run around with it. That'd be funny.
I'll run around
All right, let's. You want to leave it at that, and then, or do you want to?
I got three of these to give away. 3 of these corner decals. So
All right,
we can
3
crazy.
decals. First decal. First person in our chat room to name the keynote speaker at Google I/O for Android. Go. The Android keynote. Oh, we have the Jeopardy.
Now,
This
yeah,
is exciting.
This is like a real show now.
All right.
I know the answer.
Go ahead. All right, we're gonna wait till they're done. I think we've got like Steve Jobs. Jacob, I think you might be wrong. Okay, we're done.
There it is.
Yep, I was gonna say there it is. I believe that is Nuno. Isn't it Vic? It's Vic, yeah?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
It is Vic. I love Vic. Vic is the bomb. He likes to make, he's like me, he wants to make fun of Apple. All right, Nuno. You are the Nuno. It's Nuno's in Portugal, so I don't know if Nuno qualifies. I would feel so terrible.
I'll send it to Portugal.
All right, you'll send that to Portugal. All right, Nuno.
Yeah, just toss at me. We can give this away. It's an extra large "May the Source Be With You" shirt.
All right, that'll be our last thing to give away, and then you can give away the other decals on your Twitter.
That works.
Nuno gets a decal. Yay! And then how do you want to give away this last one? You got any ideas?
We should make them work for it.
We should make them work for it. What do you suggest?
They have to go to the website and how many colors does this shirt come in?
All right. Do we have the Jeopardy theme music again? I'll say, how many colors does the May the Source Be With You shirt come in?
Oh, there we go. We got the answer already.
Oh, somebody already guessed it. All right, Jick gets it. I know. I feel bad. Like it feels unfair if like somebody's on like not the fastest internet connection ever.
Oh, that's too bad.
I know.
Maybe we can't.
That's okay, because we'll do more giveaways. Like, don't worry, everybody. We'll do more giveaways.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do an essay at some point. Like a little. We'll make like a little gift basket, and we'll have like some essay or some video contest where people like get to do something like.
I think
cool
a video
or I don't know.
contest,
Somebody trying to talk somebody in Apple Store into switching to Android. Like whoever makes the best video, like gets a little gift basket or something. We'll work that out, Aaron. We'll work that out. Yeah. But all right, cool. So Jick gets. Is it Jick? I don't know how to pronounce that. I am terrible at pronouncing.
I can't see it.
MLA format. I love that. So yeah, Jick wins the May the Source Be With You shirt again. Admin I was about to say thisweekend.com. Admin at AndroidSWAG.com. And I think we're good. We're done.
Yeah, that's good. Is Jick in the United States?
I hope so. Jick, are you in the United States? Are you in the good old US of A? Well,
yes.
We'll have him contact you and everything. And hopefully, I feel bad, like we're waiting for this weird time in between somebody actually seeing it. But anyway,
that stuff.
He's in New York, so we're good. Congrats, everybody. Congrats to all of our winners. Hooray. Okay, so Android BBQ, Austin, Texas, October 3rd. AndroidSWAG.com. Aaron Kasten, thank you so much for being on the show with us today. And that is all we have for our interview. So let's close the show.
Thanks, Aaron.
Because it's time. This is a long show, hour and a half. This is a Return of the King length show.
Right. Well, it's the last show. Should we talk about this now?
Yes.
At this time slot.
Is the last show at this time slot.
Next week we're moving.
Next week we are going to move to prime time.
To a better time.
Prime time. 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Still Friday.
Still Fridays. But
2 hours into the future.
2 hours into the future. So we're excited. I mean, I'm excited about it. I think it's great.
This show's going to be better at 6.
I think it'll be fun, and we'll be following immediately after this week in social media, which is going to be taking our time slot.
Right.
So Percival will be on. Fridays at 4 now. Sean Percival, the host of This Week at Social Media.
Right.
But yeah, so check it out next week at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That's 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
So don't forget, and I'll tweet about it. We'll really like put up a whole bunch of stuff.
Don't tune in at 4. I think we're gone.
Oh, I'd be heartbroken. Bless you. And so. Let's close the show. I'd like to thank Aaron Kasten again from Android Swag and the Big Android BBQ for coming on the show. Mike, thank you for being here and always sitting next to me and not murdering me on air for making fun of
Let me
Apple.
just say right now, I will never murder you on air.
On air.
Or in fact, I will go further. I will never murder you.
Oh, I appreciate that.
If I kill you in self-defense,
sorry, I can't say the same.
Not murder, but I will not be murdering you.
Fair. All right. You guys can follow Mike, Android BBQ. Let's go through the Twitter list. Android Ashley, that's me.
Yeah.
TWI_mobile, that's the show.
Yeah.
At Valis, VALIS 23 is your Twitter.
I'm afraid so.
And then if you want to follow Android Swag, you can do that at Android Swag. And you can also follow the barbecue at Android BBQ on Twitter.
Android BBQ.
BBQ, that's right, BBQ. We gotta do BBQ. Can't just say barbecue.
I love BBQ.
But yeah, so check it out. And seriously, like, let's try to make Big Android BBQ like a huge Android event. Because like, I'm really excited about these mobile events popping up, and I think it's a great thing. So yeah, change your alerts. Tell your geek friends. Come party with us next week at 6 p.m. And you know what? We're still filling up sponsor slots. So if you want to reach a super awesome audience, who doesn't love our viewers?
I know.
They're the best.
The best.
Email us, mobile@thisweekend.com for more information. You can check out all our other shows on thisweekend.com. We've got This Week in Movies, Comedy. I mean, we have so many different shows now. Music, I couldn't even mention them all.
No, like cover everything. Any
I would run out of air.
You might have.
Really neat, yeah. Any interest you might have. We just started This Week in Cause, like if you're interested in giving back.
Yep.
We've got a lot of really cool stuff coming up. So, and we also have a lot of stuff happening right now. This Week in Video Games, #1 show on iTunes, video podcast last week.
Yeah.
Really amazing. Congratulations to them. As I always say, you will not find a better looking group of people hosting shows you actually care about anywhere else. Nowhere. And on behalf of everyone here, thanks for watching. I'm Ashley Esqueda, and we'll see you next week on This Week in Mobile.